What's up, you guys? Welcome to the WeBUS podcast. My name is Wes Hyatt, and we are a bold, unique system. Our goal here is to share experiences as dads that we've been through and not bro advice. We have found that over the last 3 years, by having this one simple rule of only shared experience and no advice allowed, that we've grown this club, this dad club that we have, to over 80 plus members around the entire country. So it's been pretty special, and it's what's brought me people like this guest we have here today, Trenton Mason. Trenton, thank you so much for joining me, man.
Yes,
You're
sir.
obviously a huge part of WeBUS. Let me turn off this fan. You're obviously a huge part of WeBUS. You're on the board of directors. I think you were WeBUS number 2, actually. And we could say it's actually Weenus number 2, technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, how did you find WeBUS?
Well, apparently for me, WeBUS found me.
Yeah.
Through Wes. I was just at your gym one day, and you literally walked up to me and said, "I'm thinking about starting a dad's group," and I just kind of said, "Oh, okay, sounds cool. Like, what is that? I don't know what that is, but if Wes is doing it, I'm doing it." And I had no idea what at the time you were even referring to, or like what you were going through, or what it was going to look like where we're at today a couple years later. But I'm super grateful that I joined up when started with you from the beginning.
I'm super grateful as well, brother. Um, we really focus on constant engagement. And we have a goal that everybody gets on there every day. They share their gratitude. They share their accountability. Did they work out that day? We try to throw out a couple dad jokes and stuff. And
Yes.
we see dads in the group, they come and they go, and some will sit in the background and some will be super in there all the time. But you've been Mr. Consistent from the beginning across the board. What has made you continue to come back to WeBUS time and time again?
Oh, so there's some. I feel like I've kind of gone through phases, learning about myself from this group, and my perspective on this group has kind of evolved over time. And in the beginning, we were having fun. We didn't know what the heck we were talking about. We have this kind of like smaller group in the beginning, and we were talking a little bit about a little bit of anything and everything. And as time has gone by, like you said, we've kind of created a little bit more structure, and I don't want to say maybe routine, but I guess it is a routine, kind of like more structure for the group.
Yeah.
And for me, there's a guy in our group named Kevin Rooney, and he made a post, I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, or it's been a while. I don't know exactly when, but he made a comment that has stuck out with me in this group, and he said, because there's a lot of guys that use this group when they're going through tough times or challenging times, or maybe they're in a bad spot, or they're looking for guidance or assistance or whatever. But Kevin Rooney made a comment about using this group not only in the down times. He talks about like going through life in the peaks and valleys, but using this group to stay present when the going is good. And what I have learned, speaking for myself, because we've all been through tough times, and I've grown a lot from this group, but even on your good days and your bad days, this group gives you perspective, and it keeps me grounded. And if I'm having a tough time, I know that I can come in here and speak up and talk to some dudes here in the group, and they're going to give me some feedback and some life experience, and they're going to help lift me up. But even on the good days where I feel like I'm riding high and things are going well and business is thriving and my relationship is going well with family and my kids and everything, and somebody else might be going through a tough time, that gives me perspective. And that's like, it kind of reiterates like the practice of like gratitude that we talk about, that even when the going's good, even when the going's not so good, perspective and gratitude day in and day out through all the peaks and the valleys has been just a practice that I try to stick with. I'm far from perfect. I'm a regular dude like you, Wes, and everybody else, and we have our good and our bad days. But
Mm-hmm.
the thing that keeps me coming back, and I think like I said earlier, it's evolved over time, is it keeps me grounded. It keeps things in perspective for me, because when the going's good, I want to appreciate that, and I don't want to take it for granted. And when the going's not so good, there's tons of people here in this group to keep me going. So it's good 24/7, good days, bad days, and that has really changed my perspective over time, is just sticking with it.
Yeah, I think that that's something that we all know. Habits create muscle memory, create new neural pathways in the brain, and it's really about creating that habitual understanding that we got it good. Even when life is bad, we still got it good, and we can find the fullness.
100%.
And we
100%.
I think that's why we ask the guys to come on there every day and to share their gratefulness, regardless of if they had the worst day ever, is how can we create this new habit of looking at life in a different way? And when you go on WeBUS daily, I feel like you get those reminders, like you're saying, from the other guys out there that are going like, dude, life is good in this way, and here's why. And, life sucks in this way, but also good in this way. And you're just like, yeah, if Rooney can continue to make light of a bad situation, maybe I can too, right?
What exactly? And just to add to that, one of the other things is, being in this group doesn't mean you have to come on and have a specific post or a speech or something. Sometimes you just listening to everybody else gives you that perspective, or sometimes listening to somebody else gives you an opportunity to speak up, and you weren't even expecting, or you didn't have the intention of
Yeah,
saying anything that day, but just
yeah,
listening to other people, you're like, wait a minute, been there, done that. I can maybe add some value or remind somebody that I've been through X, Y, and Z, or
yeah.
Jonathan or Switch or somebody else did. And we just are like pulling from everybody else's experiences, and it can be used as a reminder for somebody else. So just listening to what some of the other guys are going through allows you to be a resource as well. It's not all about you giving, it's you adding to somebody else.
Man, and how powerful when you're really feeling weak in a way. You're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, you're feeling anxious, you're feeling the things that are totally natural to feel in this life. And then you come on there and somebody else is feeling that too, but because of a different experience they're going through, and you go, oh, shoot, I've been through that as well, which
100%.
you guys don't know. I mean, this is our first podcast we've ever done. So in case you guys don't know, like, the ultimate goal of WeBUS is that you're not allowed to share advice. And to us, advice is defined as something that you have not been through yourself, but are trying to help somebody else through. And you're using advice to help them through that. We only share experiences. And what we mean by that is that we have had to have gone through it ourselves or be an expert in that area, meaning we've gone through many hours of training in order to learn this thing. And you're feeling horrible about your day, and somebody comes on there and they're having a horrible thing, and you go, I've been through that too, Bob, let's just say, and here's what I did. All right, see you guys later. All of a sudden, it's like that experience of like when you're having a crappy day and you help somebody else out, and all of a sudden you just feel better about yourself.
Yep.
We call them weenus wins. And there's a whole bunch of like, it's just like, I feel like WeBUS is a lot like CrossFit. It's a whole new language. It's a whole new group of friends that are doing really good things that you're not used to, and can be kind of like shocking. I think it's shocking in a way when you join WeBUS and you come into this group of 80 plus dudes all around there's another acronym that we have. DUDE stands for dedicated, understanding, diverse, educated souls that we have running through WeBUS. You come across those dudes and they're a different breed of dad out there. They're the dad that's trying to destroy the ego, not trying to build it up. They're the dad that is trying to support the female in this world. They're the dad that is trying to be the calming, wise voice that maybe they didn't have growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That, Trenton, a common theme in WeBUS, that it seems like almost all the dads that join here had some sort of a tough upbringing. Uh, have an amazing parents, but you've
Yes.
had a tough upbringing as well as everybody else. Everybody's had their things that have happened to them. Not to dive into any specifics, but do you have a favorite moment where you shared something that was vulnerable with your upbringing that maybe made you go, wow, yeah, this is the place to be. These guys are who I'm willing to be vulnerable with.
Well, I think again, without going into too many specifics, I would just say that from the very beginning, when the group was kind of just starting out, I would say it was a series of moments in the
Mm,
sense that if there were things that I was holding in for myself, things that I've never shared with anybody else, things that have like been eating at me inside over the years, and the traditional kind of like macho dad or macho dude is like just
Get
box it out of your mind,
get
suck
over
it
it.
up,
Yeah.
leave you put it behind you, and you keep on trucking.
Yeah.
And what I saw in the beginning with the number of us in the small group was that there were dads out there that have been through some shit. I don't know if I'm supposed to say shit,
We're good. We're good.
but I think without sharing like a specific example for myself, just the fact that there are plenty of other dudes that have been through some tough things,
Mm,
probably things way tougher than I've been through. Not that it's a contest or,
yeah.
there's not it's not a
It
scoring
doesn't.
system or anything like that.
Yeah.
Just the fact that a dad, because being a dad is not easy. Because being a dad, you feel like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're
Mhm.
trying to run a business or you're trying to make more money and you're trying to be there for your kids. You're trying to be present. You want to have an awesome relationship with your wife. You want to be the best version of yourself. I wasn't even thinking like that a few years ago. I was just in this, we use the term struggle bus, and I'll let you come back to that in a
Yeah.
minute. But I can say today, I was on the struggle bus, and just being a part of this group and recognizing you're not the only dad that feels like he has the weight of the world on his shoulders. You're not the only dad that gets overwhelmed when too many things start hitting all at once. And
Yeah, because
just,
I feel like that's the problem is that it's like I can't speak up about this thing that's bothering me because my tribe around me is going to ridicule me or make me feel like I'm making too big of a deal out of it or blah blah blah. But when you're able to come on to this group and just be like, bleh,
one
you know,
that so
yeah,
so
yeah.
that's my
And then
example of your
at
question right
least
there.
there's gonna be at least one dude that comes on there and goes, me too.
That so I didn't know what I didn't know at the time when you started this group, but when we started talking about life and what it's like to be a dad and the stresses and the pressures, it doesn't necessarily mean that I had to have had some like significant, crazy, traumatic event. I'm just talking about like, holy cow, man, I feel like I'm going under over here and I'm trying to keep my shit together and be the best version and all this stuff. And it's hard. And so kind of like you're,
Having an easy time with it.
well, that's the other thing too, is that's a big aha moment. Um, is nobody's having an easy time of it. They just got really good at masking their shit or
Yeah.
not showing their true colors in public or whatever. But
Or maybe they have the mechanisms around them to deal with this stuff, right? And they're going home
mm,
and doing it in a healthy way,
maybe,
or
maybe, but
they're not. And we all know those people that every day they look a little worse and a little worse and a little worse.
yeah. But
Yeah.
going back to your CrossFit analogy, um, 'cause that's another thing that I've done in recent years is CrossFit really opens your eyes to helping you understand that you are capable of doing hard things. And like
Yeah.
in a similar vein with the WeBUS crew, it's reassuring to know that you're not the only one that is struggling or has concerns or stresses about being dad, but guess what? You can be an awesome dad. You can be a better version. You can be X, Y, and Z. And if you start to talk about it, you start to address it, you tackle it head on, because the best way to go figure out that problem is hitting that problem head on. There's a ton of dudes here that have probably done or been through something like you're going through right now.
Yeah.
And they are a testament to what's possible, or they've gotten through tough times. So now that we've kind of gone through, or especially like you and I, or some of the guys that have been here for a while, like we've gone through a lot of growth. We've had a lot of shared experience. And now for somebody new that joins the group, we can use that to be that resource and that voice for them that says, yeah, man, been there, done that.
Yeah.
This is possible. And that's a different conversation. That's a different mindset going forward. You're not stressed out.
Yeah, a different thing to hear from that person's perspective than what they're used to as well. They're used to getting this advice coming right back at them about what they should do, bro. Here's what you need to do, bro, in order to solve this problem. Oh, you've been through this too? No, I haven't, but this is what you need to do. My friend of a friend listened to a Joe Rogan podcast and said that this is what you need to do. And it's like, when somebody comes on there and goes, oh my gosh, dude, I have been through that too. Here's what we did. And then
that's different. That's different.
Brother, I'm here for you. Let me know if you need anything. And then another guy comes on and goes, hey, I've been through the exact same thing and we did it completely different than he did it. Here's how we did it. And then another guy comes on and they're like completely different than the other two. It's within there that we are gaining wisdom. We are gaining the understanding that there's multiple ways to fix one thing. And now we can not only do that, but we can curate from those three people a way to fix it ourselves. And now we have a team, a tribe around us that is going to root us on as we go to take on that new thing and to try to tackle it and to try to become better with it in a way that's not like, hey, did my advice work? Are you going to stroke my ego because I gave you what you needed to get better? Instead, it's a group of people that are there going, hey man, we've been through it too, and we're ready to watch you crush this because we know you're going to, because we've gotten through it too. And when you backslide, we'll be here to hold you, man. It's all good, but we're not going to give you advice. We're just going to tell you what happened to us.
100%.
Trent, man, we want to keep this thing under 20 minutes because we know that one thing that dads don't have is time. So we want to try to respect people's times, man. But if you had one thing to share with a dad out there right now who's thinking about, hey, maybe I should join WeBUS, what would you tell them? I mean, you just actually had one of your friends join WeBUS the other day.
Yes.
What did you tell him? I guess I should say.
I was just open and honest. I had a friend recently who posted something on their social media page, and it just appeared like they were going through a tough time. Sent him a DM, said, hey man, hope you're doing well. I don't know what you're going through right now, but if you ever want to talk, hit me up. He hit me up. We started talking. I said, I have been a benefactor. I didn't say it like that, but I said, I've been a part of this group in the last few years that's really just helped me out a lot and gain a lot of new perspective on life and what it's like to be a dad and go through tough times. I really think that it would be a ton of value for you. If you want to check it out, let me know. I didn't say you need to go check this out. I didn't say you need to do this. It was just me literally sharing with him my experience and offering up the same opportunity for him. And literally this week, he came on, it was about this week.
Yeah.
Did an introduction video. And I think he's probably posted 7 or 8 times in the last few days. And he's just opening up and he's running with it. And I think,
I'm going to say your name, but
don't need to say any names.
Man, we are so grateful for you. You don't even know, brother. You've been crushing it, just letting that stuff out. It's been awesome. So
yeah, so just from that experience, it just goes to show what we have here. This group is special, and all we can do is make the offer and let people know what we've been through. Some people might take that offer, some people won't, but it's been amazing.
Well, let me make that offer to you guys. Go to www.webusint.com and click on Join WeBUS. We got a little welcome video up there too. You can kind of check it out and see what we're all about. Or you can go to @WeBUSINT, that's WeBUS International on Instagram. And there's a couple videos actually we just put up there that show what the Marco Polo app, that's the app that we use to communicate with each other, looks like behind the scenes. And a little kind of snapshot of what it's like to be a WeBUS. Trenton, thank you so much, my man, for coming on the podcast last minute, for being one of the first podcast hosts, for being such an amazing part of this, and for being one of the first ever weenuses that we've ever had, my man. You
man.
are a true dude. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you, Wes. Thank you.